you're working now for PXG. You look at a man like Bob Parsons. He goes to Vietnam to fight for this wonderful country, to fight for freedom, and which we all are enjoying. And then he starts a big company and makes money, and then comes into the golf business. And they all said, and there's a message in this, they all said, well, this guy, he'll be out of business in 3 years' time, and he'll lose his money. And here he's doing exceptionally well because he has leadership. And there's a great saying, Zach, everything in business is negotiable except quality, which he adhered to. And here's his company doing so well. I know you're proud to use it. I'm proud to use it, not just only as a club and a golf club, but for what it stands for and what he did. And I'm delighted to be with these people. They're magnificent with their clothing and their place down in Arizona. I mean, Bob Parsons has done a great job.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. You know, when it comes to Bob, even Renee, his wife, just the Parsons family in general, I mean, I wouldn't even know where to really start. I mean, certainly the business endeavors are very impressive. I applaud, I envy, and certainly there's inspiration knowing that, hey, you can't do this. This won't work. And he did that a number of times in business, whether you're talking about, GoDaddy back late in the day, 20 years ago, or PXG or whatever. He firmly believed in it. He believed in himself. He believed in, this country, and he pursued it, and he pushed it, and it obviously the proof is in the pudding. So yeah, what an unbelievable man. I mean, a guy that is red, white, and blue all the way through. Marines, he gives so much to the Marine Corps in general and the vets of the Marines. And I know he's had some honors along the side that he probably doesn't particularly like to talk about, but those are his brothers and sisters. I mean, he would fully acknowledge that. He is an unbelievable, man of this country. Businessman, sure, but just American man. And I was fortunate, Gary. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I met Mr. Bob. I was 9 or 10 years old. He used to live in my hometown up in eastern Iowa in Cedar Rapids, and back then, his passion for the game was just starting to grow. This is late 80s, early 90s, and he was unbelievable back then. Hey, there's Mr. Parsons. What new golf club does he have in his bag now? And then there, he started his own company. He just loved the game of golf. He wanted to give back to it. He wanted to make the game better, and that's what he strived to do. That's what everybody at PXG strived to do. So, when the decision came for me, and I was afforded the opportunity to be an ambassador for this company, it really wasn't a tough decision. I wanted to be a part of something new and fresh, but I wanted to be alongside good people, and I've been fortunate, to wear those 3 letters on my hat, on my bag now for almost 5 years, and hopefully there's 5+ more years to come, because my best golf's in front of me. They're there for me whenever I need them, regardless of my ask. And I firmly believe that they're going to help a lot of people in this game enjoy it more and get better at it. So kudos. Well done.
Yeah, and we're in 2 different spheres. I mean, I only play a few golf tournaments, but I'm on television almost once a week, and I can do my share promoting PXG in a different way to you. I've been playing a lot of golf courses here in Philadelphia because my wife's not well, and I've been stuck here with COVID. And all the golf courses I go to, big businessmen, and I say, yes, I'll play with you if you'll buy a set of PXG. So I put a little pressure on them as well. So we can all represent the company in different ways. And I'm so pleased that Bob has got you signed, because whenever I'm asked who's the greatest gentleman on tour, I'd never have any doubt in just saying Zach. I always remember you because your mom and dad must have been fantastic, and you honor your mother and your father, which is so, so important, because so many children do not honor their mother and their father anymore. So it's such a pleasure to talk to you, Zach. And I want to tell you a little story we had at Augusta one year. I'd won the tournament, and the next year we're having our dinner. It was down in the lower locker room, and I'm sitting next to Ben Hogan, who I always thought was the greatest striker of a ball that ever lived, and had probably the most reliable swing when he eventually, once he mastered it. And anyway, there's this book coming around the table and everybody's signing it. And so it gets to me and I sign it, and I'm sitting next to Hogan and I slide it in front of him, and he sits like this. Watch my face, Zach. He sits like this. He goes. He takes the book, dead quiet, takes the book and goes, pow! In those days, we didn't have this luxury locker room we have now, Zach. It was a hard table, and that book hit that table at 100 miles an hour. And he said, who passed this book up? I won't tell you his language. Who passed this book up here? And Horton Smith, who was a thorough gentleman, the first winner of Augusta. Yeah. He said, yeah. I did, because I've got a junior at my club who shows a lot of ability, and I just thought this would be very encouraging for him. He says, Horton, this is the Masters Club, not a damn autograph session club. Don't you ever do that again. And now, as you know, change is the price of survival. We now go to the locker room and we sign hundreds of flags, and it's changed for the better, because all these flags that are being signed go to charity for hospitals and schools, old age people. And so that flag at Augusta is signed by many with great love.
So true. That the Masters flag, man, it's not that heavy in true weight, but you get a couple signatures on there, the weight of that thing just increases substantially. It's raised, man, that flag and that emblem has raised so much money for so many great causes, or just inspired our youth in so many different ways. I mean, it's amazing what Augusta National and the Masters tournament, frankly, the Masters champions have done as a result.
Yeah, and I took my jacket home, Zach. I didn't know, there was President Eisenhower, who I admired so much, and Bobby Jones, who I think was one of the all-time great gentlemen of golf. He had a great command of the English language. He was a lawyer, and he was loved by all. And I mean, really, when you watch his swing, Zach, he had the most perfect golf swing, playing with a walking stick, really, basically, and a ball that went 100 yards less than we use now. And the scores he did were quite remarkable. And I said to him one night, sitting at the table, and you could appreciate this, I was cutting his meat, and his fingers were like this, Zach, with arthritis, and I put the fork between his hands, his fingers like that, and I cut his meat, and he jabbed it like that and ate it. And I said, Mr. Jones, do you mind if I ask you a question, sir? He was bent over, and he said, certainly. I said, I can never birdie the third hole. And he pondered for a minute. He said, you're not supposed to birdie the third hole. You're supposed to par it. He says, and when they put that position with the flag, it makes you think about that, doesn't it? When you walk that green, a short little shot, and you make 5 instead of playing for 4. And it was just so. And then winning the tournament, well, being surrounded by Clifford Roberts, Bobby Jones, and President Eisenhower, I'm so excited. I go home with my jacket. So 3 days later, there's a call. Gary, this is Clifford Roberts here. Did you take your jacket home to South Africa? I said, yes, Mr. Roberts, I did. He said, nobody ever takes the jacket off the golf course. I thought quickly, and I said, well, Mr. Roberts, if you want it, why don't you come and fetch it? So anyway, he saw the funny side of it, and he just said, don't ever wear it in public. Now all the guys wear it on all the golf shows. So everything changes in life.